Hello and welcome to Be the Expression. It's Margarit Brigham and I have Kara Johnstad here. She graciously has come back after doing an interview on the Awaken Magic Summit last year, and also with this Be the Expression a couple weeks ago. We had a beautiful interview, but it didn't get recorded, so she graciously came back again. If you recall, Kara, last year with the Awaken Magic Summit, she did the interview on Claim Your Voice, Claim Your Magic. She is an international singer, songwriter who lives in Berlin at the moment with her family, but she was born in the US. And she has, her business is Voice Your Essence, and she has a yoga studio on voice yoga. Well, she'll tell us more about that. So thank you so much, Kara, for coming back here, you beautiful goddess sister.
Woohoo! Yeah. Hey, we made it. We made it. Woohoo! Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, it was a wonderful telesummit that we did a year ago, right? And it was also a beautiful interview we did 2 weeks ago, which is in the Akashic Records. I think that's what I said at that time, because for whatever reason, we don't know why, it was a beautiful moment, and then it disappeared magically, but I know it's there. And today we're going to have another beautiful moment in the flow, connecting to your community and connecting to my community and bringing the magic out into the world. And yeah, I'm excited. Be the expression. That's it could be my motto too, right? That could be my life.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. And just with this introduction, I just want to let people know that, yeah, what we're doing really is to give expression to, ourselves as light workers, and to be the voice for each other, to share our stories, our experience, strength, and hope. Because, we can be losing hope right now with the world looking like it's going backwards and not forwards, with people not waking up. So as we take a stand, just by standing up and speaking, it helps us to have more courage and bravery to speak in our own lives, and maybe with activism. So actually, I want to just start with that with you, Kara, because singing is a great platform to open up our voice, but also, to be an activist and to share meaningful messages that might not be heard just through stories. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think singing is very powerful. And when we add the melody and we also have rhythm in, of course, spoken word and speaking and storytelling. We have different, maybe harmonics in singing that we bring in. It really lifts it up onto another level. And for me, it was a very important process as a singer and a singer-songwriter to go from also singing only songs. When I began, of course, I was singing a lot of songs that I loved from other composers. And what was a powerful shift for me was to start writing my own songs, and then to start writing songs that were uncensored, basically, where I did speak about, more. I released 2 songs last year. One is called Spirit Walk. Don't let the ways of this world trip up your spirit walk. And it's actually a rap in the beginning, a little spoken word rap, and then it goes into that refrain. And wrote it and released it at the time when my country was in a very big shift before the elections. And then I have a second song out there, which is also going in that direction, called We Have a Choice, which I'm very excited because we're going to be performing it this summer in front of the Brandenburg Gate. And if anybody knows Berlin, the Brandenburg Gate is a very big symbol. It was, it's in the middle of Berlin. It's where the wall was. It's where the parliament is. Mm-hmm. And Berlin is also a symbol. As far as the city is concerned, it's a city that constantly reinvents itself, and it's like rising from the ashes. Went through the First World War, the Second World War, and then the building of the wall and the falling of the wall. And it's a city that continues to inspire me because the people always can transform very difficult times into very prosperous times. And so I will be singing We Have a Choice. And I do think that we have, it's very important for us to tap into our messages that we want to bring out at this time and to really trust in them, because we need to give voices to the healers and the artists, the people that are working with integrity in this time. And too much of our airwaves are taken by negativity or maybe corporate interests that are not always in the interest of humanity. So I'm very much into empowering everybody to speak and sing. And you said at the beginning, courage, and courage is coming from the word cœur, which is the heart, right? So to really lead with our hearts. And that's what it's about.
I love that. And if I can just tap into our interview last week, because you shared something really profound, which was the exercise for our throat. So, and I know you're going to expand on this, but when we think we have the lack of courage, it could be because our throat is shut down. So you were talking about the throat and the heart are connected. And can you share that a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. I think it came from also, you asked me a question as how to support other healers or magicians, other goddesses who would like to speak out more. And we were talking about stage fright. I was really moved to hear that, for example, stage fright or speaking in front of an audience is such a big fear, up there with death. I mean, it's a very, very big fear that many people carry. And what I shared with you is that a lot of times, in the last, the last decades, everyone is very focused on therapy, and it might be my mental state or emotional state or whatever that is holding me back, and I don't have the courage, and there's a lot of shame around I don't have enough courage to stand up and speak my truth, or I feel so shaky when I need to share. And what I shared with you is that a lot of times it's not emotional at all, and it's also not mental. We assume it is, because speaking is something that's so natural, and then as soon as we get up in front of an audience or in front of a camera, something shuts down. And I shared with you that often it's really a physical thing, that our throat, which is located above our heart, is there actually to integrate and to give balance. It connects the inner and outer worlds. It is there to protect us. If somebody screams at you, the throat will close. Everybody knows it. And basically the larynx, which is, where your voice is located, will move down, and you have the famous knot in your throat. So the one thing is to remember is that our body is there to protect the most vital things that we have, which is our breath and our heartbeat. So we can be brain dead and still considered alive, but we can't not have a beating heart, nor can we stop breathing and be considered alive. So the voice is actually our guardian. The voice is actually our companion. The voice is actually our guide. I like to say, it's like if we can tap into, it's our inner calling, but it's one with who we are. It's so connected to our soul. And in German, they have a beautiful thing called Stimme, which is voice, and Bestimmung, which is destiny. So voice and destiny are like one, right? Mm-hmm. And in English, we can play with these words too. We have a tone, and we have at one, right? So when our voice is embodied and really in alignment with our body, mind, spirit system, then we actually feel very light and very whole and very at one. And so what I shared with you guys last week was a very simple exercise to understand that, if your throat is tight, and a lot of times you don't even realize this, then the connection can't happen between the mind and the heart, right? So if the tongue is tense, we can do tongue rolls, and everybody knows this who's been to choir, this, and they have this, and all these things, me, and to relax the face and the jaw and the face and all this stuff. But what a lot of people don't know is that these side neck muscles that are right here, they are very, very important to get relaxed, because all your major, your nerves are running through your neck, right? So what I said last week, which is very easy to do, and only do this, of course, if you don't have neck injuries, right? If you have a healthy neck. But the neck has to be released even before the shoulders are released. So what I said is to think that that you have that length in the spine, and to really just start to allow your head to go to the side. And this might be very tiring for some people. So what I said is, I'm trying to do this without hitting the microphone, to put your hand underneath your cheekbone and to really start allowing your head to let go. And what I find is what is interesting about this is that we all did this as a child. We all got tired, and we all had a very, very heavy head that was thinking too much, and we wanted to connect to our heart. And we actually put our elbows we did this thing on the dinner table.
Yeah.
And we were told that's not okay. And the most important thing is that at the end, is not to go like this, but to really, after you've released these side neck muscles, to then, without using your neck, help your head back up again. And this helps to start connecting these two systems together, right? The passionate heart and the brilliant mind. And that's the people that I coach, and myself included, because I'm always trying to coach myself too, right? Optimizing my own self and helping other people. Most of the people that I coach have really passionate hearts and very smart, very brilliant minds. And it's so much energy, and their voice gets stuck, and they're so frustrated with that struggle, because they know that they have a lot of, they just have a lot to give to this world. And once this channel starts opening, then those two things can integrate, that amazing brilliance and the mindfulness, together with the passionate soul, the passionate space that we have, at least me and my people, the people that I work with and hang out with, and I'm sure for you it's the same, highly creative,
yes,
very intuitive, very like to explore, pioneers, just really connected. And when the voice doesn't work, they feel that. And so when you can start, it's just like, I have my hand underneath here because my table's so low, but before you have to speak, just allow your body to relax. And then after you do this for let's say 5 minutes, put on some nice music, and then put your head up, and then change sides, right? And then you do the other thing, and then put your head up. And if you want, you can even, go to the front or whatever, back of your neck. That's one of the very simple exercises that you can do to start relaxing the neck muscles on the outside. And then when I work with my private clients, there are very different muscles inside that you can also work with opening, right?
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yes. And I believe we were also just even talking about massaging, right?
Yeah. You can massage your neck. You can massage also your larynx gently and move it back and forth. You can also, one of the best exercises is, of course, laughter,
Yeah.
And so before you have to speak, really, people don't realize this, that through laughter, you can raise your vibration, and it's a very easy thing to do. So I really support the laughter diet, where you consciously, just like you drink here's a glass of water, right? So every time you drink a glass of water, before you do it, laugh for 60 seconds. And you'd be surprised if you drink 8 glasses of water a day. Yeah. That's 8 minutes, right? That's 8 minutes of laughter. And we have 1,440 minutes in a day, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's 8 minutes of consciously laughing. And I would bet for many people that you don't even laugh 8 minutes a day. And it's a very easy thing to integrate into your day and to bring in more presence, and your voice will be much better for it, and you'll be happier.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
let me lead into what we were talking about that made us laugh and not take ourselves so seriously. You were talking about the 26 sounds. So if you get offended by someone, slow the sounds down.
That's, oh gosh, you remember that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just blown away, right? I mean, so in the Western, I'm sure in other cultures you have more letters or less letters or whatever. I mean, I'm coming from English, so 26 letters, and letters. Like, let's talk about it. B, l, m, n, k, g, s, z, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's such a crazy idea that every cereal box, every newspaper, every Facebook post, every I probably should say social media, every social media posting, every song we sing, every story we've read to a child, every chant we've done, every conversation we've had in a bus is basically a combination of patterned letters which represent sounds. And what I was saying last week is true. If somebody says to you something that offends you, slow it down into sound and like unravel it, right? I mean, just unravel it. Like, somebody says, I don't like the way you look. It's like, like, and you're like, what? I mean, it's just sound representing, and we've given these sounds and these words and these tones a belief system or a meaning, right? So we can also reprogram. I mean, we can choose, again, words are powerful. We can choose, if you say, I love you, to give that importance and meaning, or we can choose also, we can choose to unravel it into sound and to see, oh, where's the truth? Where's the intent? Where's the energy? Where's the space? Do I feel in that vibration that there's truth happening? And then maybe we wouldn't be so reactionary as a humanity and ping-ponging off each other's words and be more connected with each other's hearts, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Thanks for reminding me. I had forgotten I said that. I say sometimes weird things, unraveling everything into sounds.
Well, and it's so true about, the meaning of the words and how the importance we place on them. Like, so because of the goddess culture that I've studied for so long, when you think of the word bitch,
Right.
we get offended, but it was actually one of the most sacred goddess words. With Artemis, the hounds and
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
And I'm probably the mother, right? The mother dog, the hound, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of this when I coach also speaking. For example, give me a sentence.
I love you.
Okay, good. I love you too. Now, most people would think, oh, what is the meaning of that, right? When they're studying a speech or when they're studying a talk or when they're asked to speak in front of public, right? In front of an audience. And then the next step, a lot of people do, they're like, oh, not the meaning of, but like the syllables, But what I empower people to do is also, just like we unraveled sound, to think of sound. So in the word I, how many sounds do we have?
Don't put me under pressure here. Two for I.
Yeah, two. We have two. I, right? And how many sounds in love?
Three.
Love. Three, right? And how many sounds in you?
Two.
And now if we start thinking of that, we have 2, 3, 2. We have I love you. Can you speak and hear all the sounds in a word? Because what happens a lot of times when we speak is that we drop sound. And then our true intention can't be heard. So if I have the word like glass of water, you know, you have glass. There's 4 sounds in a 1-syllable simple word. If you say glass of water, I want a glass of water, no one's going to really understand what you mean. If you say I, 2 sounds, want, right, 4 sounds, a, 1 sound, glass of water, if you break it down and realize that everything is a combination of these 26 letters and everything is sound, then suddenly it's like a painter working with colors, and you have a whole canvas which is called the air and people's beautiful bodies, which are full of lots of water that you can splash in, and you can basically place then sounds, and that's where articulation becomes really fun, actually, because you can hit the t and the n and glass, or you could say glass, depending on where you want to put the weight. And once you understand that, then it's very empowering, and then you're actually also not afraid of speaking in front of people, because you realize that behind each word is a set of sounds, and if you're able to produce those sounds freely, you're able also to get your message across successfully.
Beautiful. Wow.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yes. And
I love you. Always hit all the sounds.
I love you.
Yeah. And when you're speaking a lot, then it gets really cool to go into the sounds. Exactly. Yeah, it's cool, huh? I love sound. I love language. I love actually being here at this time on Earth. It's so exciting. We have so many possibilities to bring beauty,
Oh,
into the world.
I love that. So, how do you lean into the beauty and lean into the love when you feel discouraged or, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, in every moment it's different. I love the question. How do you lean into love? Probably like you lean against a tree, or you lean, have your head lean into here. You know, I think it's once you know that everything is vibrating in love. I think there's a great quote, which I don't have memorized, but I remember this, and maybe you know the quote that Rumi said, is that it's not something about, it's not about, it's about allowing those blockages to dissolve, right? Because it's like love is everywhere, but where it's leaning into love, but it's also just realizing that if I feel that there's a struggle, that it's actually an energy block. It's like if there's a river of love, there's a stone in the path, and it's not saying stones are bad, but it's saying, how do I use that river of love to push against the stone and to scrape by the stone and to splash against the stone until that stone is softer, right? And so I think as a singer, I'm constantly, and as a speaker, I guess, constantly leaning into love, because every time you go onto stage and you're singing your own material, you have to basically, that audience is your lover, that audience is the beloved. And if you say it's not truthful, because every time we open ourselves so deeply, we need to feel that we're held. And if we're not held, actually, it's terrifying. So, so it's this really lean into love, like with every tone, like I love you, you know, this, yeah, I'm gonna give my heart to the world. You just open and know that the universe is supporting you, and that's how you lean into it a little bit more. And every time you do it, you get more back. It's what I always say. It's like in the beginning, I know a lot of people, they get very nervous, and people might not understand that when I was a kid, I was painfully shy. I was like a wallflower, right? I mean, I was so shy, I didn't even talk. I was like like really shy. And the more you open yourself, the more you also get back. That's the trick. The more you open your heart, the more receptive you are to receive love. And that's the greatest gift. And can you get hurt? Yeah, you can. Would you like to go through your life totally closed off and not hurt and numbed out? I don't think so. No. So you got to risk it, and you have to trust, and you have to have the courage and know that your voice and your heart and your gift, that every person is a unique human being. And only when we live that true potential, it's like masterpieces. I always say, you know, we have peace and we are a piece of the divine. And when we each live our potential, then it's so excited, because only when you live that piece can that other person click in and live their piece, and pretty soon it all comes together.
Oh, beautiful. Yes. Yes, because that's really the attention for me, that, you know, well, just the sacred yes to do this again, but it really is to walk each other home, you know, back to our hearts. And but I wanted to ask you too, just maybe the last question, because I know you're so busy, but just something that we talked about, and this just kind of leads into what you were just saying about, you know, opening up and people holding you, because you shared it was quite vulnerable for you about an experience that you had, and it took you a long time to finally sing about it, and then when you did, people were like, that's my story.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the amazing thing as a singer-songwriter, is that you, well, put it like this: as a singer-songwriter, like I am, we're in the path of the singing poets, right? So I'm in the path of the, you know, the Joni Mitchells and the Bob Dylans, and, you know, I'm not writing songs only for commercial purposes. We're writing songs as a reflection of our journey, right? And I think, you know, what I shared with you is that I've had many songs. It was one song in particular called Searching for an Angel, which was a very vulnerable space for me, because I had lost a pregnancy, actually, and I was carrying a child, and I was, you know, devastated. Actually, I was incredibly sad. I was incredibly sad. And that the piano and my voice pulled me to write, and, you know, to write with the tears, and a song which is actually, it's on the Naked Thoughts series, which is at iTunes, and it's also now coming out with full orchestra, fully dressed in a 60-piece symphonic orchestra, which I'm very proud of, and it's very exciting, you know. But this happened, you know, it must be, well, it's probably 14 years ago, right? So, and I just remember just feeling so alone with the story, with my own emotions that were coursing through my body. And I went downstairs. I was living in a big apartment building in the middle of Berlin, and I think that's what I shared with you, is that I went downstairs and picked up my, you know, I am a mother and I have a daughter, so this is, you know, the second child that was supposed to come. And I went downstairs and I shared my story, not intentionally, but more like I just was so sad that I just had to share my story. And luckily I shared my story, although she was kind of a stranger, but, you know, with somebody who was, she was actually teaching pottery to my daughter. And she said, yeah, me too. It happened to me too. And that moment, something shifted in me inside, because I wasn't alone anymore. And then I started, you know, sharing it once in a while in the right moments or not. And I realized that so many women have gone through similar things. And that's this divine feminine that we need to support each other with, because so many women have gone through things that are more natural than we believe, and they're covered in so much shame. Or at least for me, I had to deal with a lot of guilt and shame, even though I didn't have any, I mean, it was something that the universe decided, but still I had a lot of layers of guilt that were there. And this song, Searching for an Angel, literally, the first time I ever sang it in public in a setting of about 5 people was, I think, 7 years later. And even then I was crying that I couldn't complete it. And I still have not sung it in public. I did sing it now in studio. And that's how powerful songwriting is. And I have a couple of other songs out there, Journey Me Home and Heal Me, Hold Me. And I really empower people to write, you know, to journal and to write. And if they can, of course, to sing through the things that they've gone through. I mean, at least for me, it was my saving moment. I think if I wouldn't have written this song, and I hope if anybody else it's as a YouTube video, there's Searching for an Angel out there. So if any woman is going through that or has gone through that, and if it gives any kind of comfort, you know, that song is out there. But I would empower us all to, when we hear these stories also from other women, to remember how fragile that place is and to really give listening ears, because those few seconds really transformed me. I really healed by being listened to and allowing that voice to speak. And I really try to be as present when other people come with really painful things, that, you know, that they can release them and that we can all heal together.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So where can they find your YouTube and you and everything, everything else?
They can find me on YouTube, Kara Johnstad. So that's Kara and then Johnstad. They can find me on Spotify. You guys can follow me. That's a very, very big help. Also on YouTube, that's a huge help to independent artists. To even if it's a once in a while that you drop in and say hi, but it's a big, big help for us. You know, we're competing with big corporate media machinery, so that's a huge help. So Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, we're all there. And I also run the homepage is karajohnstad.com, and I do run a yoga voice studio. In fall, I am opening a school of voice in Berlin, which is exciting for me. These are all the different levels of voice work, shamanic work, voice performance work, things that I do on stage, performances, speaking, spoken word work, poetry, writing, independent publishing, publishing also as a recording artist, like all the different layers of voice. Because like I said, we from our ideas and our thoughts and our dreams all the way to becoming a top professional speaker or singer, it's all voice work, right? We're everything we touch is actually created through the vibration of voice going out into the world. Amazingly enough, there's even if it's just even the people that are not speaking, it's your thoughts, which are actually, it's a voice that's going out and manifesting, right? So the School of Voice is coming in September. And then I'm also leading big online courses together with Humanity Healing and Om Times, which are also launching in the next 2 months. And I do a lot of private coaching over Skype. So if anybody's interested in working with me, go to my homepage, karajohnstad.com, and then you can book private sessions. And then I basically work with you on opening that channel, that voice channel. And I have clients all over the place, from San Francisco to Canada to Paris and Rome, and mostly in the US and North America and Europe, right? Mostly because of the time zone thing. Hawaii, I had somebody, that was kind of a challenge to get the time zones, but we did it. Yeah. And and I love opening voices, and I love also doing my work as a singer-songwriter. So that's what we do. And there's some meditations. Sorry, I forgot those. I just released 2 new guided meditations, which are available at iTunes and Amazon. So if anybody wants to prepare, one's called Fine Tune Your Inner Voice, and the other one's called The Voice of Abundance. And in next month we release I Honor Your Voice. And so if anybody wants to just relax while connecting to the voice frequency and connect with their own voice without even, going into any classes or whatever, it's a beautiful way with guided meditations to do that. Yeah.
Well, when I put this on YouTube, I will put your website underneath.
Thank you.
Does that show the iTunes and everything? Your
Yeah,
website?
it's on my page. If you go under music on the page or under shop, I mean, as every homepage, they have like, the shop and the music and also the lyrics for my song. I mean, if you want to sing along, all the lyrics are on my homepage, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And right. And I'll be releasing, I write a lot of mantras in the moment for the yoga voice community or the voice yoga. I mean, it's both, right? It's this kind of merging.
You had a new mantra that you were singing. I know we're running out of time, but
Yeah.
Do you recall that new mantra that you were singing?
Oh, I have so many mantras. I did one today. You want to hear the one today? I just wrote it 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Want to hear that one? Do I have it here? Or maybe I threw it down on the floor. Oh, maybe I don't have it. Oh, no, I don't have it. I do this very easy one. Singing is a way to deepen the echo. Singing is a way to come into flow. Singing is a way to deepen the echo. Singing is a way to come into flow. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And then it loops.
Beautiful.
Did you get that one?
Beautiful.
Yay!
That brings you to the magic.
That brings you to the magic.
Yeah.
Magic, 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 magic.
Yes, darling.
We love magic, right? We love magic.
We love the moon, the full moon. We love the magic.
We love the magic. We love the moon. And I don't know, I think I said this last time, but no matter how many times I watch magic tricks also, and I know what's behind every one, I've even read the books, how you do the tricks, it doesn't matter. I'm laughing and I love it every single time. I love magic.
Yeah.
I don't know, my inner child is really as strong as my higher self.
Yeah. Yay. Perfect.
It's all one.
Perfect. Yep. Yep. Well,
beautiful.
I love you, darling. I'm
Thank you.
Happy that you said yes again. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing some of your beautiful coaching for free.
Yeah.
Community and helping to boost them and to know that, maybe their wounds are stopping them. It's not their lack of courage, and how to help open up the throat. And
well, remember, on that note, singing is how the light gets in, right?
Yeah.
Forget your perfect offering, just sing the song you're meant to sing. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
Yes.
Right?
Perfect.
Just sing, that's how the light gets in. Yeah, so the more you sing, the more you can bring light to those wounds, and then it'll be uplifting. And what I always say is singing is my path, and I think the path for many, if they trusted it, to enlightenment, because you feel lighter. It's anti-gravitational. You literally feel lighter when you sing. So, you don't have to be weighted down with all this stuff. You can choose singing as a path. Sing an hour a day.
Yeah.
And again, we have 24 hours, only 1 hour a day. And if you're singing 1 hour a day, you're going to feel so much lighter, so much empowered, more empowered, and just really connected. And it's a great gift. Yeah.
And you get a lot more done when you're having fun.
You do. And you can hum your way to better health, or whistle while you work.
Yes.
Toot, 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 toot.
Oh, so much
beautiful.
Fun. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, sweetie.
So I'll let you know when it's going up on YouTube. And,
okay.
It's going out into an email.
All right. Okay. Yes. Lots of love to the big communities. Bye. Namaste.
Namaste, darling. And ecstasy.
Ecstasy. Oh, and mama stay. Mama stay. Remember that one?
Yeah. Okay, we could go
Okay,
on.
namaste, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll connect soon, okay?
Yes,
Lots of love.
darling. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye.